Okay, so graphing these, and these are all old Regents questions in here. So graphing these is not always the thing that happens, with what we're doing. So sometimes it'll just ask us stuff about it. But when I do have to graph it, in my opinion, what you need to find are the midline. Where does it start? The C value. All right, the midline. The period. Okay, because that's how long it's going to take to have one of them. The amplitude, and then what I call the scale. All right, I know the scale is not going to be on what people have here because not everybody does the scale. All right, and we'll talk about this scale when I graph it. So I always draw the exact same picture. All right, I draw the midline in, then I find my amplitude high and low, and I kind of usually put dotted lines down through for the amplitude. All right, then I mark the period, but I always go out usually 12 lines. All right, I'll tell you why when we get it done. And then I graph the curve, which looks the same all the time with that setup. All right, and then I put a scale on it. All right, so let's go through. I'm going to fill out what Miss Sherritt has here, but for this one, because she has it. All right, so the midline is 6. All right, y equals 6. The amplitude is 3, which means the max is 6 plus 3 or 9, and the min is 6 minus 3 or 3. Okay, because it's going to go from 6 up and down 3. All right, the period is 2 pi over b. That's b right there. All right, so the period is 2 pi over 4. All right, now this can get a little bit ugly. All right, but there is a pi in the top and the bottom, which means I can eliminate them. All right. If there's only a pi in the top, I leave it there and I just put the numbers into my calculator and see what happens. All right. But because there's a pi in the top and the bottom, I can eliminate it. And what I'm going to get is 2 over 1/4. All right. But I can actually do it just like this because there's a pi in the top and the bottom. All right. I'm going to do 2 pi in the top and I'm going to do pi over 4 in the bottom. And it's going to give me a period of 8. All right. Now, I am not going to do that normally. Normally, I'm going to just put the numbers into the calculator because there is usually not a pi in the period when I'm graphing one of these. All right. It's in there sometimes. If there's a pi in there, I'll put the pi in the calculator. If there's not, I'm just going to put the numbers in and leave the pi there. Horizontal shift almost never happens, and that would be if there's some sort of plus or a minus inside the parentheses. It really just never happens. All right, so I go to my graph. I'm going to put my midline on there. All right, so I'm going to do a little counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I draw a solid line right there. All right, that is my midline. Amplitude is up 1, 2, 3, and I usually draw a dotted line like this. And then 1, 2, 3, and I draw a dotted line like that. Okay, because that is the like fence that's going to hold my curve in. All right, sine curve goes like this. Cosine curve goes like this. All right, so I'm going to count out 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to put a line. I'm always going out 12. I don't care that it says the period is 8. All right, that's how long it's supposed to take. So this is going to end up being 8. All right, I'm not making any kind of scale. And then I'm going to divide that up into fourths. So really 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, so when I count, I need 4 intervals because there's basically 4 important points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, there's 4 points after the origin. I'm counting and I'm like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, sorry, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So sorry, let me start over with that again. So my sine curve goes like this. All right, sine curve goes like this. Cosine curve goes like this. For each of them, there are 5 important points: the beginning, high, low, and where it crosses the axis. So beginning, crosses, low, crosses, end. All right, so those 5 points. That's what's happening here. This is a sine curve, so I start here and I go up. It should hit the top right there. Then it should hit here, be at the bottom, and be back. All right. I'm going to draw that every single time for a sign, just like that. All right. And then my scale that I'm going to put on there, there's 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever my period is, I divide it by 4, and that's going to give me my scale that I'm going to write on those lines. All right, 8 over 4 is 2. So then this is 2, 4, 6. I got all kinds of crazy things written all over this graph. And of course, I erased my graph because why wouldn't I? All right. So it looks like that. That's a lot of information in one thing. All right. We've definitely done more than that at some point in time to take a look at this and really stretch it out a little bit.